Van Deeb, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van Deeb.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Welcome to the Van Deeb podcast. Man, I'm glad you joined me today. Before we do anything, please subscribe to this podcast. That way you're going to get it in your inbox twice a month. Subscribe to the podcast and let's get rolling. So today, I want to talk to you about stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, my background, I'm on my 44th year in real estate, and I feel very fortunate, and I thank the good Lord because I can't wait to go to work every day. So I found a career, obviously, in 1982 when I first started real estate, and that I can't wait to go to. It's so important that if you don't like where you're at, what you're doing for a living, your ways to make an income, you got to take a look at other opportunities because it's so important to love your job. You know, we spend so much time at work that if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to do it that great. If you love what you're doing, chances are you're going to do it really well. So real estate's been really good to me, so good that I spent a good amount of time in this last year plus putting together a masterclass. And I'd love it. Anybody in real estate, or if you know somebody in real estate, you're doing them a huge favor by having them check out realestatemasteclass.online. It's 33 modules. Some of them are 5 minutes long. Some of them are 15. And it's how to become a better real estate professional. And actually, I've had other salespeople from other industries saying, hey, I'm taking this course because I can adapt some of the stuff, the principles that I say and that I use in this course for their industry. So realestatemasteclass.online, be the best money you ever spent, and you get to watch the modules forever. They're yours for forever. So I want to see you become the best version of yourself, which is why I do these podcasts, is we all have the ability to become anything we want to be. Speaking for me, I wanted to be one of the best real estate professionals in the country, and I am because I made a decision to. We all have the ability to make decisions. We have to have the 5 Ds. You hear me talk about that in the majority of my podcasts because it's so important. You got to have the drive, the desire, the determination, the discipline, and then you got to make a decision. So the decision I want you to make today, stepping out of your comfort zone. Ask yourself, what's keeping me from going to the next level? Is it I'm not a big fan of making phone calls. I don't like making cold calls to people I don't know. I don't feel like writing a handwritten note. You know, you've got to say to yourself, in order to move from right here, where you're at, and get it to here, if you step out of your comfort zone, what you're used to doing, and increase that or eliminate some things that aren't producing, which creates more opportunity to bring in things that are, this will help. So ask yourself this. What's it going to hurt to make 5 more phone calls a day to try to get more business at whatever you're doing? I'll answer that for you. Nothing. It hurts nothing to make 5 more phone calls a day. Writing 5 handwritten notes. Whatever it might be that you know in the long run will produce more income. And of course, you know what happens when you produce more income? You have more opportunities in life. Everything's better when you're not going paycheck to paycheck. And I'm hearing that this world that we live in now, so many people are going paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. I know that some people have situations that they just can't get out of, and it's taking them forever. But the majority of us have the ability to get out of that and to increase and to move up to the next level. And you know, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. If you're a significant other, or you've got kids you're raising, or you've got parents that depend on you for income, or whatever your situation is, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility to make it happen. So I'd like to see you grab a pen, pad, laptop, whatever you want to use, and write down 5 things. Just do it. I mean, it can't hurt anything. If anything, it's going to make you better. Write down 5 things that you can do that you're not comfortable with, but you know you have the ability to do that will make your life better. Maybe it'll make your overall general life together better. Maybe it will make your business better. Maybe it will make your personal relationships better. Whatever you're doing and you want to go forward and you want to build more, find things that you're not doing. So many people are afraid to step out of their comfort zone. I'm going to give you an example. I had a gentleman come to me, and I can't tell you how many real estate agents have been in front of me over the last 44 years, probably thousands. And I've probably made more millionaires than any broker out there because I want to see people succeed at any level. Doesn't have to be just financial success, but at any level I want to see people succeed. But I had a young man come up to me and he said, hey, you know, I'm kind of stuck in this price range. I seem to only get people that want to spend under this amount. And I seem to stay more in the lower income neighborhoods where I'm getting most of my business. And I'm brutally honest, which is why people like me to coach them, which is why they like to get my advice, because I'm very transparent. I don't sugarcoat anything. You can ask the real estate professionals that work at Prime Home Realty in Omaha, Nebraska, which is my company. I'm very transparent and I'm very forward. So he says to me, I want to try to get out of this rut where I'm just only in this certain price range. And I said to him, I said, is this how you dress every day to go to work? And he had jeans and maybe a colored T-shirt or maybe a short sleeve shirt on. He goes, yeah, this is how I dress. I go, well, maybe you he goes, here's his words, this is what I'm comfortable in. And I said, well, maybe you step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you start dressing up more. What kind of clients you think that will produce? In my industry, in real estate, we're helping people with the biggest investment of most people's lives, and that's buying or selling a house. So my philosophy is if I'm helping people with the biggest investment of their life, most people, I want to look the part, man. I don't have to dress like this every day. But the more professional I look, the more professional I feel, and the more opportunities that are going to come to me because people are going to go, that guy looks professional. So dating back to this person, going back to this, he said, I'll give it a shot. And I'll never forget, his girlfriend calls me up one day and said, are you going to be in the office? I said, yeah. She goes, well, he wants to come by and see you. And I said, great. Comes by in a suit. I don't think he's ever worn a suit before until I recommended that he dress the part. His whole business changed. People looked at him differently. He stepped up to a higher price range. Why? Because he stepped out of his comfort zone. Rocket science? No. Common sense? Yes. And everybody knows that watches my podcast or been listening to me preach for the last 40 years. I have a PhD in common sense. Common sense is you want to step out of your comfort zone, do the things you have to do. That's part of the 5 Ds. That's the discipline. You have to discipline yourself and make a decision to make that discipline happen. This guy's discipline was, I'm going to start looking more professional. So his business went up. His price range went up. His customers looked at him a different way. I want that guy representing me. Now picture that, whatever industry you're in. You know, this podcast has a real estate flavor because I've been doing it for 44 years. So that's why I use real estate as an example. But I have witnessed so many people in my life that have made a decision to step out of their comfort zone and their whole life changed. But no one can make that decision but you. And here's the cool thing. If you haven't been that person for the last week, the last month, the last year, your whole life, you have never been a person that steps out of your comfort zone. Let me tell you something pretty cool. You can make a decision today, and you can say, tomorrow, these are the things I'm going to do. The 5 things that Van told me to write down and to put down, I'm going to start doing these. I'm going to start doing these 5 things to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to make cold calls. I'm going to call people up and ask them for business. I'm going to do some of the things that I haven't done. I'm tired of living average. Average should never come into your anything that describes you. You never want somebody to say, hey, I'm going to hire Tom over there. He's pretty average. No, you want to be above average. Why? Because you can. And when you make that decision that you want to step out of your comfort zone and you want to be above average, who do you think benefits when you make that decision? You think it's just you? No, it's not just you. It's your family. It's your significant other. It's your kids. It's your parents. It's your coworkers. Everybody benefits because you've made a decision to use your God-given skill set. And I say God-given skill set because we were all embodied with a wicked skill set, but most of us don't use it. Most of us do not use what we already have inside of us. You don't have to go out and grab anything new. You've already got it inside of you. Now, part of the discipline is you may not be great at stepping out of your comfort zone. You may hit some hurdles, but there's never been a mountain that you're going to climb that doesn't have jagged edges. I didn't say stepping out of your comfort zone was going to be easy. I said it definitely can happen, but you have to make the effort. Making 5 extra cold calls a day or calling people that you haven't talked to may be kind of difficult for a while. But disciplines are you keep doing it over and over and over again, and then before you know it, that discipline becomes a habit, and then guess what? Becomes natural. You don't even think about it. Automatically, you're the dude making 5 more calls a day, writing 5 more handwritten notes, stopping in and seeing clients, things that you haven't done because you did not want to step out of your comfort zone. I know you can think of some things, and I want to tell you something. Even though my masterclass is real estate specific, I'll guarantee you, whatever industry you're in, you will gain some knowledge from this, and you can implement it in whatever you're doing, and you'll become a rock star. Where else can you spend $499 and learn from somebody that's been there and done that and still doing it? I guarantee you, you'll gain so much knowledge no matter what industry you're in. Check it out, realestatemasters.online. I know all of you will benefit from that. So another thing is, maybe you find somebody you work with or a very close friend or maybe your spouse or significant other, and you have this conversation with them. I want to step out of my comfort zone. Will you help me? These are the things that I need to do to better myself. Will you hold me accountable? I want to tell you something. If somebody loves you, they're going to say yes. Everybody wants, usually people are good. We all want to help people get to where they want to go, especially if they're people that we super care about, that we care about a lot. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. That's one of my books that I wrote, The Power of Asking. I got to where I am today because I asked people to help. How did I do it? I asked people to do business with me. Did I step out of my comfort zone? Absolutely. Going up to people saying, hey, if you ever want to buy or sell a house, please think of me. I did that with everybody. You know, I'm the guy that would keep 250 business cards in my front seat. And I know everything's digital, but I like doing things the old-fashioned way because it also helps me work harder. I keep a box of my business cards in my front seat. And my challenge to myself is I have to pass out 250 business cards in 1 month, which means I have to make 250 connections in 1 month I have to give cards to. Even the dry cleaner. Hey, thank you very much for my dry cleaning. Hey, if you know anybody that wants to buy or sell a house, please think of me. I challenge myself. I step out of my comfort zone. So I talk about that in The Power of Asking. And I told you I got a PhD in common sense. I talk about that in Common Sense Selling. I only write books on ideas and strategies that I've implemented myself, and I know you can do it too. And you can get all these books at vandeeb.com. Vandeeb.com. There's a 2-day delivery. You guys, I really want you, if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, I really want you to do that so you get exciting podcasts in your inbox. If you know somebody that needs inspiration, motivation, or just to be empowered to be the best version of themselves, share this with them. Share this video with them so they can find their path to be successful too. But remember something. We don't grow unless we step out of our comfort zone. I've been there. I've done that. I'm still, after 44 years in business, I'm still challenging myself every day to step out of my comfort zone. Why? Because it keeps things exciting and it makes you better. And who doesn't want to get better? Why go through life knowing you have the ability to get better, but you're not doing it? And remember, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. And don't worry about, well, I'm not good at this. Nobody's good at this when they first start. And you've heard me say this over and over. You don't have to be great to get started. But man, you got to get started to be great. So think about this. I'd love to have you give me some feedback. Email me, van@vandeeb.com. Give me the 5 areas of your life that you want to step out of your comfort zone and create a discipline and get better. I'll respond and I'll help you. I would love to. I appreciate you watching the Van Deeb podcast. And remember, you want to elevate yourself. I don't care what career you're in. These modules will help you. realestatemasters.online. I'm there for you at vandeeb.com. These books are there for you. 2-day delivery. They make a great gift for your favorite business person that you want to see grow. But I appreciate you, and I look forward to spending more time with you on the next Van Deeb podcast.